This is Webb Childs aboard More 24, hull number 40, GANNET. We are 4 weeks out of Darwin, Australia today, bound for Durban, South Africa. We've come about 3,500 miles. We have about 2,500 miles still to go. This is what I like to call the Great Cabin. I'm sitting at what is known as Central. I'll show you a different view of this after a while. I'm looking aft. The space, the overhead to the floorboards is about a meter, 37, 38 inches. The side, from side to side, 7 feet 2 inches. I can reach much of what I need to do in here from this spot. Down on the floorboards you see the measuring cup, as well as my feet. The measuring cup that I use to eat out of, and the stove, which is a jet boil little canister on the bottom for heat. All I do is boil water, 2 cups of water for instant coffee in the morning, and a cup or 2 cups for a freeze-dried meal at night. On that bulkhead in the center is the yellow brick tracking device. Yellow bricks are really good pieces of equipment. The people there are fantastic as far as support. Their only vulnerability is that they have a charging port on the bottom, which is a USB port. It's covered by a good cap and O-ring, but I originally had that mounted out on a bracket on the stern pulpit when I crossed the Pacific. And there's waterproof and there's GANNET proof, and GANNET proof is a much higher standard. Anyway, water got into that USB socket and caused some problems. So then I decided to mount it in the cabin. Originally it was mounted over on the left. You can kind of see it in an ugly place over there in the on the wood. But so much water came in earlier this passage when it was mounted there that I moved it into the center. To the right of it is the display for the Raymarine Tactic wind unit. There are 2 pipers. I sleep on the windward one, which on this passage has almost always been the one to port. On the other side is my Avon Red Start dinghy. Here's a plastic bag, which is my daily food bag. Water, well, on this passage, the first 3 weeks were hard. The first week hard because of too little wind, and the next 2 hard because of too much wind. It only went to gale force a couple of times, but it was in the 25 range to 30. And in those conditions, particularly since my tiller pilots have failed as usual and I'm using sheet-to-tiller self-steering, GANNET takes a lot of water aboard, and you can't really see this so well. The sliding part of the companionway hatch is closed. The slat isn't in, but even with that slat in and everything closed, waves were coming aboard and water cascading down below several times a minute. Everything in this boat, including me, was wet. 2 sleeping bags have become completely sodden and untenable, and I'm now sleeping under a foil rescue blanket, which at least is waterproof and not sodden, although it gets condensation on it. The bag at the bottom there is, that's my tool kit. Everything in here is subject, as I say, to getting wet. If it's going to be damaged by getting wet, I have it in a waterproof, nominally waterproof bag or container. Over on that side is my laptop's inside a Pelican waterproof box, which really is waterproof. In this daily food bag, stuff there, that is now triple plastic bagged, and there's stuff inside the inner of those 3 plastic bags, which is in a Ziploc bag, and water even got through into them, so now they're triple plastic bagged and double Ziplocked as well. Over here, what do we have? The red cylinder is one of my 2 Mega Boom speakers, Bluetooth speakers. They are excellent. The other one is over here on the other side. You can combine them so that they play in stereo. They have great sound. They're supposed to be waterproof. So far they are. I'm going to stop this for a minute and move to a different position.